Britney, as we mentioned, is speaking for the first time in years. What is she hoping to get out of this hearing? What is she likely to get out of this hearing?
I think she's hoping to have the court really understand where she's at with this. She may be comfortable to have the conservatorship in place because perhaps it's helping her with the types of people that might prey on her, and she might like it there, but she clearly doesn't want her father involved. And that's what she's made clear for a long time now, and is asking the court to hear her voice and say, regardless of how he's handled this, whether he's done something wrong or not, I personally can't continue with him as my conservator.
And I want to ask you about his financial situation here. Her dad makes six figures for being her conservator and gets about 1.5% of revenues from her performances and her merch in Vegas. Will the court see that as her father profiting off his role, and is that grounds for removing him?
No, it is profiting off of his role. However, it's not illegal to profit off his role. I think that where they've had situations where he's taken a percentage of the contract, as I understand it, they've got that approved through the courts. So people do make money for this. It is a lot of work to be somebody's conservator, but he's obviously got a conflict of interest as well. And if you add all the family emotions and dynamics into it, it just doesn't feel like it's the right thing for her anymore. And if she's saying that she can't perform if he continues in this role, I think the world wants her to perform. And if the court can change that by just putting somebody else in this role and not even asking them to terminate it, why wouldn't they do that?
It's hard not to see there being a conflict of interest, Maddie. I mean, a big question from her fans is when will she perform again and how this will affect her, $60 million estate. Right now, she refuses to go back to work as long as her dad is the conservator. And of course, that affects his finances as well. So it's interesting that the conflict of interest is not grounds to remove him. Sarah, I wonder here, she doesn't actually ask the court to remove the conservatorship completely. She just wants her dad out of the picture. So if that's the case, what is the best argument she can make to the judge to have that happen?
I think the best argument that she can make is to cite some of the financial or some of the emotional turmoil and what effect that has had on her life. Because regardless of whether or not he's done things by the book as far as a conservator, if she is traumatized daily by the things that he has said and some of the allegations that came out in the recent court documents that he's drinking, he's prone to violence. I mean, I can't verify any of these things, but there have been allegations that he's not particularly emotionally stable himself. And if he's taking that out on her and it's causing her to not get better, and maybe she could actually get out of this guardianship conservatorship if he was not there and somebody else who could handle things different with her was appointed.
Thanks for watching Bloomberg Quicktake Now. Subscribe to our channel to see the biggest stories the moment they happen from around the world, and tune in to our 24/7 live stream for global news coverage, interviews, deep dives, shows, and documentaries on the stories you care about.